Hi, my name is Jeff Boyce and I've been a Aurora and Denver Metro realtor here for the past 21 plus years. I've been a broker here since 1999 and boy have things ever changed in Aurora. Aurora still remains our top selling suburb of Denver as it has been for the last 10 years. Aurora has always been considered super affordable out there. With both the Cherry Creek School District and the south and central part of Aurora, and then the Aurora Public Schools in the north and central part of Aurora. Aurora has always been considered affordable because we've had houses that were built in the 60s, 70s, and 80s there for the most part. And then as we go out east further, and as we go out south and southeast further, we've got homes built in the 90s, 2000s, and they're still being currently built. Murphy Creek and Saddle Rock Ridge and some of those areas, they're still building homes out there. Talons Reach out by lots of the areas by Southlands Mall, out by the Aurora Reservoir are still super popular out there. A little bit more expensive out there, but Aurora's still affordable. At the end of 2021, here we are in January of 2022, our median house price in Aurora was $495,000. That means half of the homes sold above $495,000 and the other half sold below $495,000. Unfortunately, from the previous year, that was a 19.2% increase in a home appreciation and home equity, which was an $80,000 increase in housing prices over the year 2020, where the median price was $415,000 again in 2020, $80,000 higher. That's just again incredible. So again, if you bought a home in 2020 and you lived in it in 2021, you made about $80,000 just living in your home in Aurora. Isn't that the coolest thing ever? Well, that is a huge plus for Aurora and most other cities. Now, the entire Denver metro area, our housing appreciation in 2021 was at 18%. So Aurora was just slightly higher at 19.2%. Then I want to break Aurora up into the Aurora Public Schools and the Cherry Creek schools just so you can see the difference on some of those housing numbers. So all of the homes feeding into the Aurora Public Schools, our median house price in 2021 was $455,000. So compare that to the Cherry Creek School District and our median price was $532,000. So there was about a $77,000 differential in the housing prices more expensive in the much desired Cherry Creek School District. And what's so great about the Cherry Creek School, you asked, Jeff? Well, Cherry Creek School District is ranked one of the top in not only one of the highest graduation rates. Cherry Creek School District and the high schools have some of the highest amount of scholarships awarded on a per school district basis than any other district in the entire state of Colorado. And then there's always sports. The Cherry Creek schools have some of the best sporting programs in both the middle school and high school, basketball, football, and etc. And so with the better schools, the housing prices are higher, the houses are more desirable. So again, back to the Aurora Public Schools and a median price of $455,000, that was a 18.5% increase over the previous year, which was $71,000 per home if you bought a home that fed into the Aurora Public Schools. And let's jump over to the Cherry Creek schools. Our median price over there, like I said, was $532,000 for 2021. That was a 14.4% increase over the previous year, which was $67,000 higher than 2020. Interestingly enough, for both 2020, for both the Aurora Public Schools and the homes feeding into the Cherry Creek schools, we're only at about an 8% increase in 2020, our first year of COVID here in Denver. So after COVID and everybody and their brother relocating to the Denver metro area and Aurora from all those crappy states that had all those COVID restrictions, and people just didn't want to live there anymore. We got a ton of people out here. Our jobs market is fantastic. We have one of the best unemployment rates in the entire United States, and everybody wants to relocate out here. Aurora has some terrific major employers. They built the new Anschutz and CU Medical Center and VA out there by 6th Avenue and 225, and Aurora is just booming. So part of the reason that our housing prices are going up so high after COVID, when we were only going up about 6 or 8% a year, is because it's affordable, number one, and number two, there's still great jobs out in Aurora, and it's a pretty easy commute to get to other cities depending on where your job is. So on the next chart I've got here, I've actually got the home sales, and Aurora ranks number 2, like I said, below Denver. Last year there were 5,490 home sales in Aurora, with a median price of the two Cherry Creek schools and Aurora Public Schools, the median price of $495,000 in all of Aurora. But the good news is that there's still homes starting at about $295,000. You can find homes below that, but at $295,000, that would be a 3-bedroom and 1-car attached garage, just so we can compare all the other cities there. And that's not too bad, and that makes Aurora very popular. Take a look at Denver, where the median price last year was $675,000. That's almost $200,000 higher than Aurora. The number 3 in town for best selling was Littleton. That was $625,000. Number 4 was Parker, $650,000. Arvada was $590,000 for their median price. Castle Rock at number 6 was $600,000. And only Thornton at $508,000 was even reasonably close to the pricing or median pricing in Aurora, Colorado. Thornton is usually our second best area up on the north side of town, north central side of town, to find a great value on a home at a lower price range. Then I also want to give you a comparison for Aurora and the entire metro area of the top selling zip codes in the Denver metro area. And as you can see, the number 1 and number 2 best selling cities were Aurora, and those zip codes were 813 and 815. Coincidentally, 813 is almost exclusively Aurora Public Schools, and 815 is about 50-50 Aurora Public Schools and the Cherry Creek School District. But again, look at the top 2 cities are in Aurora. Our next best-selling zip code is 80022, which is the Reunion Buffalo Run area, just west of the DIA Airport in Commerce City. A lot of nicer, newer homes up there. It used to be pretty affordable up there, but they're getting a little high at $520,000 for a median price. And then again, number 4, there's Thornton right there, 80233. The number 9 best-selling zip code is 817, kind of out in that Buckley area there in kind of central Aurora. Our median price out there is $440,000. So again, it was the number 9 best-selling zip code in the entire Denver metro area. So 3 of the top 10 top-selling zip codes are in Aurora, Colorado, because it's affordable and it's a great place to live. Now, my final statistic here, just to give you an idea, is we have a major inventory problem. We have super low inventory, homes for sale, after this 2-year COVID mess that we have. And Aurora is affected just like everybody else with low housing inventory. And that is the number of homes you have to look at on the weekends and how competitive it might be when you're out looking for a home. So take a look at this statistic. So every weekend, homes for sale in Aurora, and I averaged this for the last 3 months, so we have about 162 homes for sale in all of Aurora. And those homes listed for sale, we have a median price of about $428, with those homes starting at about $390,000. Take a look at Denver. You know, it's number 2, and there are only 103 homes for sale in Denver County every weekend. And it's like twice as big as Aurora, you know? So that'll give you an idea. At least there is some housing inventory in Aurora. But this is where it's going to get horrific for you. Number 3 to number 10 here. Look at the number of homes for sale. In Arvada, there's only 42. There's only 37 for sale in the entire Thornton area. All the zip codes. Littleton at number 5, 35 homes to look at per weekend. Parker, 32 homes. Centennial, 31. Westminster, 29. And Castle Rock at 28. And if you want a home in Highlands Ranch, there are only about 18 homes for sale in Highlands Ranch. And I did the statistic on those below 700,000. So those are all the $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, and $600,000 homes. There is barely any inventory of homes to look at. So give me a call at 303-622-5700. Whether you want to live in Aurora or any other city, I will print you a custom list depending on the zip code or area or city you want to live in, and I'll go back 2 or 3 months of home sales for you so you'll know exactly how many homes have sold, what they've sold for. We'll take a look at those sales comparables in these areas. And then I'll also show you on those median prices, both above it and below it, how much are homes selling over list price. So that's the final thing I want to cover on this video. And it affects both Aurora and every other Denver metro city, including Denver, is that with home showings on a weekend, those typically start on Friday, then Saturday and Sunday, with 15-minute incremental times allotted for showings by the listing agents, and that's in every single city, 15-minute allocations of time. There are typically 60, 70, 80, 90, or 100 showings per home per weekend throughout the Denver metro area. And it is a disaster because all these homes are getting all these showings, but they're also getting sometimes 10 to 15 offers per home. And after after a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, a lot of times they're getting a real good offer, maybe $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 over list price. So then they stop the rest of the showings and the house goes under contract. And you might not even be able to see half of the homes that you wanted to look at because they went under contract. You've got to call me again at 303-622-5700 because I've got a strategic marketing plan that'll help you get in those homes earlier, be able to see them, and still get in a super competitive offer, even if we have to go $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 over list price. And we need to talk about how we can do that still in your budget to be able to get you a house. If not, you're going to be like the 80% of the people that are shut out on these houses, where they go 3, 4, 5, or 6 months or longer and they can't get moved into a house. So you're stuck renting your apartment or you're stuck in your rental house and you can't even find a house because you're using an inexperienced realtor that doesn't know some of the tricks of the trade to get you in these places. And I'm not saying that I'm better than anybody else, but after doing this for 21 years, I guarantee I can get you in a house within 2 months. So it won't be too tough on that. Again, my name is Jeff Boyce, 303-622-5700. Give me a call. I've got a great way to help you relocate here or get you out of your rental. Right now, our interest rates are around 3.5%. And if you've got a 640 credit score or higher, whether you live here currently or you're relocating out here with a 640 score, we have a special down payment assistance for you. So on all of these homes we're talking about in every single city, Aurora, Castle Rock, Parker, Highlands Ranch, Thornton, Arvada, Westminster, Lakewood, Littleton, all of these areas, we can get you a fantastic mortgage loan, and instead of needing maybe 3.5% down on an FHA loan, with the down payment assisted, they take care of the 3%, so you only need the 0.5%. So let's do the math on that. On a $400,000 house times 3% that we can get a down payment assistance for, that's pretty good. That'll save you 3% times 4, that's $12,000. If you got a $500,000 house, $500,000 times 3%, that'll save you $15,000 cash out of pocket or out of your 401k. Pretty darn neat. Now, you're still going to need your mortgage loan closing costs on that, and those typically run about $5,000, $6,000, or $7,000 or so. But I've got a fantastic mortgage business partner. His name is Travis Pratt, and he's at Supreme Lending, and he and I have been working together now for 4 or 5 years, and we can typically get you in a home, as long as the home's under $550,000, we can typically get you in a house, total cash out of pocket, about $5,000, $6,000, maybe $7,500, because I can also write your closing costs into the purchase price of the house. And I'll show you how I do that too with my 21 years of real estate experience. Again, my name is Jeff Boyce, 303-622-5700. Shoot me an email, Jeff Boyce Realtor, BOYCE @gmail.com, and I'm glad to help you too. Thanks again. Welcome to Aurora, welcome to Denver, and I look forward to working with you too. Thanks again.